Hello, my name is Chidimai Bemer and I humbly welcome you to my YouTube channel. I want to thank the old subscribers and my new subscribers for choosing to be with me on this journey. It means a lot to me and I really appreciate. Today I'm going to be sharing tips on how to ace your essays. This is for international students in the UK. I know that this Christmas season, most of you may not necessarily want to be out there to completely celebrate or experience the season because of the deadlines you have to meet. But my advice is strike a balance. Don't lose yourself completely because you need to be happy to write a 4,000 word essay. So my advice is just be happy, do what you can, get the rest you deserve, but don't forget why you are a student, right? I hope that helps. Before I go into the crux of the matter, I just want to advise anybody who is yet to come over, if you're contemplating coming for your masters in the UK, please, my advice is go for something that you are passionate about, something that you're willing to really get knowledge in. Don't just go for any course because your friend is going for it or because someone else wants you to study. No, please go for something you're passionate about. Go for something you have reasonable experience in, because it would really go a long way in helping you with your essays. Some of you may be wondering what are essays. Here in the UK, students are assessed through critical essays at the end of each term. Coming from Nigeria, this is a major shift. So from primary school through university as an undergraduate, I was assessed through exams. So at the end of each semester or at the end of the term, as the case may be, you'll be assessed through examinations. And then even when I did my master's at the University of Nigeria, I studied epidemiology and medical statistics. I also was assessed through exams. So coming to this place with the shift, experiencing the shifts was a lot, and also realizing that your essay is not just a descriptive essay or a narrative essay, just like what we did in primary school. Tell me about your family. No, this is quite different. This is about you critically analyzing literature and also using your experience to harness your arguments, right? It was a major shift, but then it's one of the most interesting things I've done as as a student. So I'm trusting that this would be my contribution, my quota in ensuring that you make good grades. I'm here to sort of deconstruct the complexities that surrounds the whole idea of essays being terrible. No, you can actually do this if you have the right tips, and you can do it so well. So first off, for every international student who is new to the system, please don't ever defeat yourself. Don't ever feel that you are not capable of writing a 4,000 word essay. If you have that orientation in mind, if you embrace it, it's really going to affect you. This is actually one of the reasons I said go for something you're interested in. When you're writing about something you're passionate about, even you may get to 1,000 words without even knowing, because it's just flowing. So please don't ever have that idea that it is unattainable, it's not for you, you can't do it. Once you are defeated, no one can help you. But if you believe that this is something you can do, trust me, you can do it. It may sound cliche or very simple, but your mind is where everything happens. So give yourself that orientation that you can do it. You came this far, you can do it. You can do it. Even if you don't remember anything I say or I've said, remember that Chidima says you can do it. You can write a 4,000 worded essay. You can even write 4,005 and now start deciding, how do I eliminate some points, right? You can do it. So please have that in mind. It's important to bring to your notice that our essays are assessed with 3 rubrics. The first is knowledge and understanding. The second is critical thinking and analysis. Then the third is organization and understanding. I am going to be using one example to sort of expand my ideas. First off, in knowledge and understanding, I'm always advising that it's important that you choose a prompt or a question that you have strength in. Don't go for something that every other person is going for. Choose the prompt that really aligns or that speaks to you, or you have a relative experience in, or something that you are comfortable researching on, because that would be your that would be like the framework for checking how much you know about the thing you have chosen. So in my school, for the courses, we are usually given 4 to 6 questions, then we are asked to choose one. I would always go through them and check for the one I have greater strength in, because you're not trying to you're not wasting time. This determines your grade at the end of the day. So you don't want to go for something you have no idea about. So please always go for something you have good experience in, or something that you don't mind researching on, something that really excites you, because this is 4,000 words. You don't want to play around or get sad. You really want to do a good job. So the first step is choosing something that you're comfortable with. Another point I always say is when you decide on the question, please, it is in your best interest to actually break down the model. So let me give you an example with something I worked on. I had a 78 in this course, quality and improvement of education. Shout out to Dr. Atemi for being an amazing tutor. Now, this is the prompt. What does the literature tell us about the characteristics of an effective professional in education? Example, a teacher or manager or leader in a setting such as a head teacher or principal. And how should these educators be evaluated? Using the literature and your professional experience, discuss the current role of a select professional and how this role may be shaped by policy, models, or frameworks and societal expectations. Now, the best bet, from what I read, you can see that there are so many sub questions in the question. So the best bet is to actually disintegrate them, pull them out one by one, so you have clarity of what you're about to write on. It's so easy to be lost in it that you miss out on the point. So you are expected, from what I read, you are expected to tell us what literature says about an effective teacher. You're also expected, an effective professional. So it means that you're supposed to tell us which professional you are going to talk about. Then the literature also says that you have to tell us these ideas or these characteristics in a particular setting. So it's expected that you're supposed to give us an idea of the setting you're going to talk about. They also want you to tell us how these educators are going to be evaluated. Then you've been asked that it's important to use literature and your professional experience to discuss the roles of the professional you chose. Then also tell us how this role may be shaped by policy or framework. So you can see that there are so many things they're expecting you to do. It's in your best interest to choose a topic you have strength in, but more importantly, break them down, bring it out one by one, so you have an idea of what you are answering. That when you are able to do this, the answers you should give us a summary in your introduction. Most people just go straight into the essay without giving an introduction, and I feel like you're setting yourself up for something that is not really nice. So my advice is, once you've gotten to the point where you've disintegrated the bigger question into sub questions to have an idea of what it is, the answers you give should make up your introduction. So my introduction for this course, we talked about, I am going to be talking about this essay will critically analyze, the characteristics of an effective teacher. I'll do this with literature and with my professional experience. So now the reader already knows that, okay, she has chosen the teacher. Then I also said that I'm going to talk about this in my setting, Federal Government College in Enugu. give ideas on how teachers are supposed to be evaluated and how their roles are shaped by policies. Then I will conclude with my recommendations based on my discussion. So the reader is interested, the reader believes strongly that you have an idea of what you are doing. Then it's also important that you tell the reader that you're going to expand the argument on using various subheadings. List out the subheadings. This just makes the person know that this person is this writer is really knowledgeable about this topic, or this writer has a deep understanding of the topic. So please don't just go straight into your essay. Let your introduction be a summary of what to expect, but do it with firmness, letting the reader understand that you have an idea of what you're about to guide them on. So give a summary of the answers to what are you trying to answer. These questions you've been able to pull out earlier, you just tell them, oh, you're going to answer, you're going to make sure, you're going to say, oh, I'm going to write about how teachers are going to be evaluated, how their roles are shaped by policies, and I'm going to give my conclusion. I'll expand this argument with with these headings. So knowledge and understanding, you will be assessed based on that. Number 2 is critical thinking and analysis. So because this is not a descriptive essay, nobody wants to know your idea of what you feel an effective teacher is. It is not unwanted, but it is not what is needed, right? So I'm not expected to now say, from my experience as a teacher, an effective teacher is one who communicates well. Even my HOD knows about this, my principal knows about. No, this is not a descriptive essay. This is not a narrative essay. This is a critical essay. So what does this mean? It means that you're getting literature. What are the diverse, ideas or contributions to what an effective teacher is from scholars across the world? Yes, you may limit it's always good for me, I limit my literature to maybe 2010. So it's over a decade, so it can be useful. But if there's anything that would make you go from towards 1990, so it means that the idea or the scholar's position is something that cannot be neglected over generations. That is when you can use it. So my advice is start your research from 2010 up to 2023. Ensure you spread your net. What are people saying about who an effective teacher? I'm using this as a case in point, so I know that we all have different ideas, but just to sell my points better, what are people saying what are people's thoughts about an effective teacher? Some scholars may say that an effective teacher, the characteristics just include, being proactive, having deep knowledge of the subject matter, or one who communicates effectively. That is, it may be across board. It maybe 20 scholars are saying the same thing. But then there are 2 scholars who also believe, on the other hand, that say, you know what, communication is key, being proactive is amazing, managing your time is beautiful. However, they believe that creativity is the key thing, in defining who an effective teacher is. And they may have their point. So it's now up to you to now analyze and say, okay, these people have said this, but this other scholar has put forward this argument. Even with them putting forward a different argument, there may be another set of scholars who feel that, okay, creativity should only apply, the factor of creativity should only apply to arts teachers, it should only apply to science teachers. It's now up to you to decide, to tell the reader that these are the various options. So these people are saying this, these people are saying this. However, from my professional experience, this is what I have seen. Your voice will be there, but your voice will not be dominant. It is your ability to read through other people's work, pick out their arguments, and tell us what they think and why they think in that direction, and give us another argument that counters it, and tell us why you feel they are right because every scholar who decides to publish an article is right in his own judgment. So it's not up to you to tell us what you think was going through their minds, or based on their literature. Obviously, what was going through their minds reflects on their literature. So it's up to you to now tell us what you've been able to gather from every point of view, and then give your own argument, but ensure that your argument is not dominant, and that would really make your tutor or whoever marking it trust that you have critically analyzed this essay. Another important thing for you to do in terms of critical thinking and analysis is spread your tent. Don't be about, let's just say I'm talking about effective teachers because I'm from Southeast Nigeria, then I'll just go and pick literature from Southeast. You have to spread your net. Look out for literature from South Nigeria. Look out for literature from Sub-Saharan Africa, Eastern Africa, and then you have to even go continental, going to Asia, what people are saying. Different cultures, different contexts come with their own ideas of a particular subject matter. So when you're able to infuse it into your essay, definitely you are going to make good grades. So I just hope that really works. This is not a descriptive essay. It's not an essay for your voice to be dominant. Your voice is necessary, but should not be dominant. I just thought to put that out. Then the last is on organization and structure. One thing that has really helped, remember, always give an introduction. I've already told you what is expected of you in introduction, but in terms of organization, for those subheadings you've listed, try to make sure, my darling, that your subheading 1 links to your subheading 2, and then let that chain be consistent until you get to your conclusion. Your conclusion should not be detached from your second paragraph. It should have that structure, that organization, that flow is needed, because you don't want to be talking about an effective teacher and then all of a sudden in the conclusion you're talking about a proactive teacher. Yes, they may be the same thing conventionally, but in terms of academic ratings, you've veered off course. So it's important that you keep yourself in check. Make sure that your subheading 1 introduces subheading 2. Look for a way to link it up so that the leader is flowing with it. When you say, an effective teacher, for me, in this particular context, I was able to start with a brief overview of my professional setting, Federal Government College Enugu. Then from there, I moved on to what literature says. But instead of saying what does literature say, you have to now be creative. I define mine as the intersection of teacher effectiveness and quality education. I'm also trying to give you what this, the characteristics of an effective education. It was up to me to be creative about it. Then after that, I now said, the last line of my intersection subheading, I tried to introduce how effective teachers should be evaluated. In the next subheading, teachers who have been found to be effective should be evaluated in the following ways. This will be discussed in the next paragraph or in the next subheading, however you want to put it. Let there be a link from scratch to finish, and then it just gives the marker or the tutor an idea that you really know what you are doing. Another thing I want to say about organizational structure is please ensure that you stick to the rules. So if you are asked to use a particular font size or a particular font, or format your work in a particular way, please do it, because it also shows that you are organized. It shows that you have structure. Don't assume that they are supposed to understand. So if they say, some people can be so so meticulous in ensuring that you stick to it. I haven't experienced it, but I'm just guessing. You've been able to put up 4,000 words. So what is there in just doing Control A and formatting to what is expected? So my advice is, whatever instruction you give, if they say, your citation should be in Harvard, please give it to them in Harvard. Don't do another thing. If they say they want font size 12, give them font size 12. If they say they want fonts Calibri, give it to them. It doesn't cost anything. Just follow the instructions so that at least you know that you have done what you're supposed to do. And remember that your references do not add up to your essay. So your reference could be 1,000. Let's just say you are expected to write a 4,000 worded essay, and you've written 2,000 and your reference is already 2,000, then you submit. No, my darling, your essay, your body of work should be 4,000, maybe at most 3,000, it's something. Like for this course, I know I wrote like 3,000. I think it was a 3,000 word essay, and I think I wrote 2008 or thereabout. Oh, I can't remember, to be honest. But I think it's just one course that was three. I think leading and managing change, I had an 8 in the course, and it was a 4,000 worded essay, and I wrote 3,009 something. I know that that was it, and then my dissertation was 15,000, and I wrote 14,008 something. So these are like the two that I know that I really went. I I, I took everything. But in this course and in my education in global context, education in global context was like 4,000, I think, and then I wrote like 3,006 something. I'm just advising. I got a 68 in that one, but I'll just advise that, see, just if they say 4,000, I just give them like 3 8. Try. And it's not about you just filling it up. You just try to get the ideas of people, from their literature, and paraphrase. Please don't fall for the trick of, oh, because I'm not plagiarizing, if I'm able to put the quotation marks, it shows that yes, I have given honor to whom honor is due by quoting their work. But trust me, your tutor would know that you've not done your work if 50% of your work is just copy and pasting, the quotes or whatever information you've gotten from any text. Yes, you've cited them, but it doesn't show that you've done a good work. And lecturers may feel this person has not done the critical analysis well. So just try and read. Yes, you may say there is no time, you have a lot of papers to read. So what I do is I just go straight to, like, if I get a paper, I look at the introduction. If I look at the introduction, I look at the conclusion. If they seem very interesting, I then go straight to the discussion to get an idea of what they are saying, and I'm able to paraphrase. This is just my trick, because to be honest, you don't have all the time in the world to start reading from top to bottom. You can just look at the introduction, and introduction gives you an idea of how interesting the paper is. There are so many papers, there are so many literature out there that will not make you feel happy. To be honest, yes, they've been published, but then they may not be useful to you. So it's up to you to now use your discretion, say, oh, let me take this, let me read through this introduction. If it's something you feel interested in, you can just go straight to the conclusion, have an idea of what is being said. Then if you are convinced that this is amazing, go straight to discussion and get the idea and paraphrase. When you paraphrase, it makes you more confident that yes, I read, I understood, and I'm arguing in this regard. So I believe by now you already know that plagiarism is not accepted. So just try your best to put in efforts. If you use these tips, it would really help you to ace your essays. Get an introduction. If you choose a topic you are very comfortable with, disintegrate the topic into the subtopics, into the sub questions, and try to understand what is being required of you. And more importantly, as you're writing your essays, ensure that everything you are doing is answering the question. If there is a deviation, then there is a problem. Like I rightly said, it's easy for you to think about a proactive teacher and an effective teacher and feel they are the same conventionally, but then that is not what your lecturer is requesting from you. They don't want to know about a proactive teacher, they want to know about an efficient teacher. You could say, oh, that maybe an efficient teacher is the same as effective teacher, conventionally you can score points, but in this regard you've not, because there are literatures that are also dedicated to who an efficient teacher is, and there are people that may even differentiate between efficient and effective. So you just need to stick to what you've been asked to do. And I trust that if you have this at the back of your mind while writing your essays, it would really go a long way. Please always also make reference to what you have been taught in class, because it makes the lecturer feel like, oh, this person really did a good job. So if I remember that there was something on effective teaching and teacher effectiveness, just because the questions are based on modules treated during the term, just go to that lecture slide, dwell on it, understand what the lecturer's point of view is, look up the papers they've shared in the course of that module, and use it as part of your backup for your essay. And I believe that you're going to make us proud and make yourself proud. So yeah, I thought to share these ideas, and I really hope that they are useful to you. I hope they are useful to you. I'm sorry, it's been a while, I thought, so I just hope that this really makes sense to you. If you have any worries or any questions, I'll be dropping my email address in the description box, so feel free to reach out to me. I'll be able to guide. I'm not writing for anybody, please. I'll just guide you. We can run through your ideas together, and I just want to see you at the top. I mean, it's good to make good grades. I'm happy, and I really want you to be happy at the end of your course. So yeah, I thought to share this, and please enjoy your break, enjoy Christmas, and be kind to people. Take care of yourself. Bye.